Three. Two. One.
Now going for two for the tie. And some trickery. How about that play?
One.
On the back, smiling.
Tom, welcome to the show, my guy.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Well, for those of you at home that don't know Tom, let me give you a little background introduction. 5'1" as an amateur, turned pro less than a year ago, coming off a huge knockout, first victory, some beautiful ground and pound there, by the way.
Thank you.
So, Tom, what got you started in mixed martial arts?
So years ago, back in my hometown of Stratford, Ontario, I moved to London, Ontario. I coached Chris Hordecki, and the rest is history.
So, Tom, it's been an 8-year journey for you. How did it feel to finally get your hand raised after that beautiful flying knee and that vicious ground and pound?
It's amazing. It was the best feeling. Knowing that I was fighting professional, it just made it that much more special.
On Three3, what we do is preview the 3 biggest sporting events, and we got Amanda Nunez. She's fighting Pennington that weekend. Who do you like in that match?
Amanda Nunez. She's looked unstoppable. I'm gonna go with Nunez for sure.
Yeah, I got Nunez too. I got a first-round knockout there.
Yeah.
She's walked through everyone in the division, and she is looking mean. July 7th, that's what everyone's talking about. The super fight. Daniel Cormier going back up to heavyweight as the light heavyweight champion to take on Stipe Miocic. Who do you like there?
That's definitely an interesting matchup. Miocic has always had a job, but he's got the most title defenses in heavyweight history in the UFC. I mean, he's so well-rounded, but at the same time, DC, I mean, competitor. He comes from an amazing camp. He was a heavyweight champ in Strikeforce. I'd like to see Miocic win, but it could go either way. This is a toss-up. I'm not too sure.
For me, what it comes down to is DC's cardio, when he has to cut to 205, is stellar. He doesn't have to worry about that cut, so I think he's going to be able to hang in with Miocic late in the fight. But I have seen Daniel Cormier get rocked before by guys like John Jones, and Stipe Miocic is a big guy. Yeah. So him and Jones walk around about the same way. I think Miocic is either going to catch him or get the decision.
I think that's fair. That's a fair prediction.
Well, Tom, for the closing of this show, we're going to have a great finale for you. Number 2 is coming up.
2.
Here on Three3, we got our PGA Tour cards back, baby. TPC Sawgrass down in Florida, the 5th major. It is the Players' Championship. That's right, and Webb Simpson is our leader. Yes, he started the day at 15 under after firing an unbelievable 63 yesterday. So he is definitely the favorite in this tournament. The next closest person is 5 strokes off the pace. But I got 2 players for you to look out for. Number 1, Tiger Woods. Yesterday, after his round, Tiger was just sitting 1 under for the tournament. He knew that he had to step up his game.
It's just playing really short. You know, it's so hot out here, the ball's flying. We're probably playing close to a club than less than we normally do. They gave us some pretty accessible pins. I mean, we could go out after it and post some good numbers.
And Tiger took advantage of the course on Saturday. He shot a 65 for a solid 7 under. That puts him at 8 under for the tournament. And then going into the day at 8 under was Jason Day. He won at Wells Fargo last weekend. He's playing excellent golf right now. So those are my picks. If anyone's going to catch Simpson, it's either going to be Tiger Woods or Jason Day.
1.
And number 1 this week has to be the NHL. So many fascinating stories. A Canadian team left standing. The Las Vegas Golden Knights, and Ovi finally beats the Penguins. And they looked good last night in Tampa Bay. That's right, Tampa Bay was the number 1 seed in the Atlantic and in the Eastern Conference, so they get home ice advantage. The Washington Capitals came out firing, go up 4-0. But if you look at their goals, lots of them were shots that were blocked and redirected. Andrei Vasilevsky looked like he was just a step behind. Remember, Tampa Bay hasn't played since Sunday. That's almost a full 5 days off for Vasilevsky. He has to get his rhythm and timing back. I'm sure his movement will be fine. Remember, Tampa Bay knocked off the Devils in 6 games, and then they lost that first game to Boston. Well, they won 4 straight after that, so do not fear Tampa Bay faithful. Out west, we have the Las Vegas Golden Knights versus the Winnipeg Jets. Now, if I were to tell you the Las Vegas Golden Knights are playing for a chance to be in the Stanley Cup Final in September, you never would have watched this show because you would have called me an idiot. Well, look at where they are now, ladies and gentlemen, and you want to know why? My reasoning behind it is my Conn Smythe so far in the playoffs, Marc-Andre Fleury. The Golden Knights have played just 10 games, and that is largely in part due to him. 8 wins and 4 shutouts in those 10 performances. Yes, they look great. Yes, they have a fiery offense. But if it wasn't for Fleury, I don't think they'd make it this far. And now they're going up against a team in Winnipeg. They have to go into the whiteout. Yes, I've been to Vegas. I was there on the New Year's Eve game. It is a great arena, a great atmosphere, great fans. But there is something different in Canada, baby. The Winnipeg Jets have a chance to bring the Stanley Cup home to Canada for the first time since 1993 when the Canadians did it. There is some emotion. The country is rallying behind the Jets. I don't see the Knights beating the Jets. I don't see it. But hey, the Knights have been proving me wrong all year. But statistically, on paper, as the matchup goes, I have to take the Jets. I think it's going to be a long series with some very interesting goals. But the Winnipeg Jets are my pick in the West. Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of Three3. Unfortunately, the weather, we couldn't help it. Power lines were dropping left, right, and center in Toronto. Thousands of homes without power, but Tom and I still battled the weather to get you guys that interview. I apologize for the audio. Next time we have Tom on the show, the audio will be pristine. I promise you that. Now, as for our trivia, well, Tom was supposed to punch me in the gut and then ask a question, but instead, this happened.
We'll see you next week.
Between my groaning, the wind, and Tom's laughing, you couldn't really hear what he said. So here's the question. Who won the first season of The Ultimate Fighter? Who was the first tough champion? I am Connor Roundtree, host of Three3. For our producer Aaron Canton and Tom Theocaris, we'd like to thank you for tuning into the show this week. I did have time to sit down with Tom and do a written interview that will be posted on our new website, treesportsblog.com. Find the article right here. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Cheers. You've made it to the weekend.
We'll see you next week.